Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and this is Top 5s, the only weekly Top 5 show in snowboarding that is continuously weekly, I think. I don't know. Maybe there's another one out there. Anyways, in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the top 5 best intermediate snowboards for 2023. That's right, the best bang for the buck. Now, you might notice a little bit of overlap with our beginner board list that we've done, and the reason for that is we don't just recommend never ever full-blown beginner boards because you're just going to outgrow them. You know it, I know it. So these are great for someone that is a progressing intermediate or a high-level beginner, and they're not going to outgrow it right away. So why don't we just dive right into it, find out which one is the best for you. Number 5, the Capita Outer Space Living. This is possibly the softest board on this list, and the reason it makes this list is it's got an easy progression for you as a rider, but you will outgrow this faster than others on the list, especially if you ride a lot. Now, it is a little bit more freestyle focused, so good for those people that really want to butter, practice jibbing, someone that's not trying to aggressively carve or really try to just ride the whole mountain, but someone that's more interested in that freestyle focus, someone that rides a smaller resort, has less vertical, might even be riding a rope tow. Number 4, the Drake Squad. Now, I know what you're saying. Drake makes snowboards. Those of us in North America at least are saying that. Those in Europe are like, I love my Drake stuff. And I was like, oh, you sad, sad people. There's so much better stuff out there. But surprisingly, the Squad was actually a good board when I got on. I was like, oh, this is a solid, middle of the road board for just a mid-level rider. It blew me away with how solid it actually was. It had decent snap, solid edge control. Probably the best thing I rode from Drake, because the rest of their stuff was kind of ass. I don't know how you can be in business this long and still make ass, but this one actually stood out as being a solid option. And like I said, it was well balanced for riding the whole mountain. It wasn't mind-blowing. It was just like you got on it, it felt like a board you'd been on for 100 days, and it didn't hinder you or hold you back when you were trying to push it, but you didn't have to be on top of it at all times, which makes it more versatile for someone that's a progressing intermediate. Number 3, the Jones Frontier, which is kind of like Jones's My First Freeride board. It's one of those all-mountain freeride boards, so it kind of just lends itself to multiple categories. It's got solid edge hold, decent tech in it. You got camber underfoot to give you pop, and you got that rocker in the tips, which is going to give you ease entry in and out of turns, as well as more optimal powder float. It's kind of just that jack of all trades board as you're trying to figure out where you're going with your riding style and your ability. Number 2, the K2 Gateway Pop. This is just a renamed K2 Ray Gun Pop. I don't know why they gave it a new name. It's just your standard camber dominant, middle of the road, flex, do everything board for someone that's a high-level beginner or a progressing intermediate. It's going to be able to handle it all. It's going to lock in on turns. You're going to be able to learn how to ankle steer with it. It's not going to be super dominant. And it's just going to be a solid all-around ride that helps you take your riding to the next level. Honorable mentions. All great options, but just barely didn't crack the top 5 of this list. The Yes Basic, the Solomon Sight, the Ride Agenda. All 3 of these are great boards, and they're basically interchangeable with everything in the top 5, but we put these on a different list, and so I wanted to give them their dues here, but you can see them over on our beginner list. So like I said, all great options, just barely didn't crack the top 5 of this list. And the number 1 top 5 progressing intermediate bang for the buck board is the Rome Warden. I love the shape on this board. I love the technology that you get in it. I actually owned one, rode it for a season. Solid board. Now, I ride a lot of stuff. I ride 100 plus days a year. Do I need a board at this level? No, but knowing that I can get on it and it was solid, it was good. I like the shape. Like I said, the side cut's dialed. There's good snap in it. It's just a good board for progressing on. And with the way the shaping is on that, you get something that's a little unique. So it doesn't look like a popsicle stick board. So, might turn a few heads. And that shaping also helps with powder float, just with that nose and the way it sinks and rises and stuff. So you don't have to worry about it. Plus, the price is good on this, and you can usually find last year's for a decent markdown. So give the Rome Warden a look. This has been my top 5 progressing intermediate snowboards for 2023-2024. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you own one? Are you going to buy one on this list? Leave me a comment down below. Let's have a conversation about all these snowboards. If you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here and you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. As always, I've been your host, Avran LeFeber, and well, I've got to continue to be your host because, you know, TC's workload is like 1/10 of mine. And I'll see you in another video.